shocking news!
Beetlejuice, Friday and Sunday on ATV.
Now, from the #1 news team in Atlantic, Canada, this is ATV News 1.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Steve Murphy in the ATV News Center. Fishermen, students, the unemployed, all are angry, and all are protesting in the Maritimes at 1 o'clock. A tidal wave of protest by Nova Scotia fishermen is sweeping the city of Halifax at the moment. An estimated 2,000 fishermen and their families from as far away as Cape Breton have arrived on the Halifax waterfront. They're now making their way to the Nova Scotia legislature. At the center of the protest, the restrictive new federal rules for the already troubled fishery, which would, among other things, mean increases in license fees.
I'm a fisherman, been fishing for 40 years. Now they tell me I can't go, and I got 4 sons that I gotta leave my boat to them, and they say I can't. In that case, I may follow them a bit more.
Once again, the fishermen and their families have come from near and far, from one end of Nova Scotia to the other. ATV's Nicole Brown is live at the Nova Scotia legislature at the moment. What's the latest there, Nicole?
Well, Steve, just moments ago, the fishermen, the end of the line just continued down this street and around the corner and headed up towards the DFO offices, the Department of Fisheries, where they plan to bring their protest. And they're expected to return back here to Province House for a meeting later this afternoon with Premier John Savage and the Fisheries Minister Jim Barkhouse.
What are they hoping to accomplish? Obviously, Barkhouse and Savage are provincial ministers. This is a federal complaint.
That's right. In fact, the interesting thing is Jim Barkhouse was marching along with them. And what they hope to accomplish is to raise more awareness. You know, obviously these people have come from every corner of Nova Scotia, as far away as Pubnico, Cape Breton, Yarmouth, and they want to make everyone aware, and particularly the politicians, that they are very upset about what's going on at the federal level.
All right, we'll get back to you as developments warrant. Thanks very much, Nicole Brown, at the legislature in Halifax. Meantime, in Fredericton, university students from across New Brunswick are gathering as the province prepares to bring down the provincial budget. These students, hundreds of them, began their rally on College Hill at UNB at the Sub about an hour ago. They marched through Fredericton from the university to the front lawn of the legislature. They want a commitment from the McKenna government that university tuitions will be affordable for everybody in New Brunswick. Those students are just arriving at the legislature as we speak. We're joined now live by ATV's Laverne Stewart, who is at the legislature. What's happening there now?
Well, Steve, as you mentioned, the students just arrived. There's about 100 university students gathered here at the moment. They say they're going to remain here for the afternoon. As you know, the New Brunswick budget is going to be tabled this afternoon. They say they're going to stay here to hear what the finance minister has to say. They also want to talk to Advanced Education Minister Rolly McIntyre. They want some guarantees, Steve, that the tuition hikes won't happen and that people will be able to afford university tuitions in this province. They're angry. They say that the Advanced Education Minister has not talked to them at this point. They want a guarantee in writing that those tuition hikes aren't going to happen and that people will be able to afford post-secondary education here in New Brunswick, Steve. And as you can see, the students in the background are starting to demonstrate. Their voices are getting a little bit loud, and they've promised that they're going to speak to Rolly McIntyre when he comes out, and they'll have some words for him. Steve.
They've picked a good day for it. All eyes on Fredericton, of course, with the budget coming down, and reportedly, Laverne, it's going to be tough, right?
It sure is, and it will affect education, as we're hearing, along with the people who are involved with lower incomes, health care, and much more. So we have to wait to see what happens. That should happen around 2:30 this afternoon.
All right, complete coverage tonight on the ATV Evening News, of course. Thank you, Laverne.
Okay.
Meantime, about 200 people marched on an MP's office in Shediac this morning for the second time in a week. Look at this. They oppose UI reforms. They paraded to Beausejour MP Fernand Robichaud's office to make their case.
They seem to be put all their money up in the big city, and you know people all here all today. If they had a job, they go on to a job today.
MP Robichaud wasn't there. But many local business people have become involved in this campaign now. In an area where seasonal jobs employ 40% of the workforce, business owners feel threatened by these UI reforms. Indeed, it has been a day of discontent across the Maritime provinces. Well, many commuters were late for work and several school districts were closed in the Maritimes today as our region was hit by another winter storm. Southeast New Brunswick got up to 20 centimeters, Nova Scotia about 10 to 15 of the white stuff, while PEI digging out from up to 20 centimeters. The weather caused slippery driving conditions, but no major accidents have been reported. Many students, of course, enjoying a day off, and they're probably very happy with meteorologist Steve Weigel, who's here right now.
Making some extra money shoveling driveways, I guess.
Not a bad way to spend the day.
And very interesting, Steve, quite a variety or a variation in the amount of snowfall that fell across the Maritimes. Just light dusting up through northern New Brunswick and up to 20 centimeters or just below through much of Prince Edward Island and the southern areas of New Brunswick. Let's take a look at the snowfall amounts as of the last couple of hours across the Maritimes. Just a dusting up through northern New Brunswick, 14 centimeters in Halifax, and the highest amounts were in Prince Edward Island and through Moncton. Now, Steve, it is still snowing in some areas of the Maritimes right now, so an additional 2 to 5 centimeters is possible in the next couple of hours.
Your forecast last night nailed the snowstorm coming up the coast of Nova Scotia. Did it go a little further north than expected?
A little further north, and it slowed down a little over Prince Edward Island, and that's why they picked up a little bit more snow than they were expecting.
Yeah. All right, a complete forecast coming up with Steve Weigel here later on ATV News 1.